The Firefighters Bill of Rights is the most comprehensive set of workplace protections in place for any public profession. Signed in 2007, the law is modeled after the Peace Officers Bill of Rights, which protects due process rights for law enforcement in disciplinary cases.
40 years ago, under the first Brown administration, police officers in California achieved the right to a procedural Bill of Rights in the workplace. Because the circumstances are so similar, firefighters need the same job protections.
We had a speaker in Karen Bass who was committed to it. And quite frankly, we had a governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, although everybody told him vetoed the bill, wanted to have fairness for us and said, look, if law enforcement has it, the firefighters deserve to have it.
The centerpiece of the Firefighters Bill of Rights is your right to union representation. In any circumstance where disciplinary action might take place, you have the right to the presence of a union representative before any formal questioning takes place.
Prior to the Firefighter Bill of Rights, the discipline system was very much skewed towards management. Essentially, they held all the power.
You had a lot of situations where people were asked questions relative to their conduct or the conduct of other people, and a lot of times it was done either by ambush or it was done without the person really understanding exactly what they were being asked about or why they were being asked.
It is critical for firefighters to have an advocate at their side in a meeting or conversation that may lead to disciplinary action.
When an employee under investigation has the right to have his union representative present, it prevents a level of coercion and intimidation.
It's not just your investigation, but it's also investigations that impact other people that you may run calls with.
Where the Peace Officers Procedural Bill of Rights is less clear about whether you need to be the subject of an investigation before your rights attach. It's very clear in the Firefighters Procedural Bill of Rights that you just need to be at risk of disciplinary action.
When there's any suspicion that any questioning can lead to disciplinary action, you need to put it on the table.
If you think that there's a potential for some kind of serious discipline, you should say, well, is this a potential disciplinary situation? And if they say yes, you should say, okay, well, I'd like to speak to my representative before I go any further.
And then at that point, it should be cut off and then allow the member to call their union representative, tell them what's occurred, tell them that the chief was out there, and then it should be formalized at that point in time.
In some cases, management may not recognize your right to representation. If they persist in questioning you without representation, a formal non-waiver statement should be read into the record. The non-waiver statement can be found on CPF's Firefighters Bill of Rights wallet card.
In that situation, specifically that situation, you have the right to record what's going to happen.
You take your phone out, you set it on the desk, you hit record, and then you just read the admonishment right out of this card.
You read your statement right off there saying that I'm doing this under duress, and you just read the statement verbatim, and you go from there, because now you've established that you've asked for the representation and that they're ordering you to continue the conversation. That gives you cover later on down the road as the process continues.
The right to representation is only one of the many protections provided by the Firefighters Bill of Rights. Beginning early next year, future CPF Firevision will highlight other aspects of this critical workplace protection. In the meantime, CPF members can carry their rights in their pockets. Ask your union president for a copy of CPF's Firefighters Bill of Rights wallet card or download the CPF mobile app.